Canada. Hello, Manitoba. Hello, Saskatchewan. Strummin' and hummin', pickin' and a grinnin'. It is the day of deliverance. Welcome to the 15th Banjo Bowl.
You've got a couple of teams that are going to rely on their stars today. For the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, that certainly means Andrew Harris. 158 yards on the ground last week in the losing cause. Second time this year he's gone over 150. That running game is going to be so important for this team, because if you get forced into a passing situation, you got to deal with this guy. Charleston Hughes, 10 sacks in his last 8 games, an 8-game sack streak, by the way, for the league leader. The best trade pickup in recent CFL history by far.
Chris Jones, who has abandoned his black look, the man in black, wearing green, lucky green. 3 in a row for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, including last week on Labor Day. Mike O'Shea's team right now spinning its wheels. They've lost 3 in a row, but they've won 3 straight Banjo Bowls. It is the rematch of the Prairie rivals. Saskatchewan won the toss. They defer. They will kick off. And we are underway here in Winnipeg. Banjo Bowl is on. And right away, getting his first touch of 2018 is Timothy Flanders, who's inserted into this lineup. A couple of changes for the Blue Bombers, particularly on the O-line. But this is also a day of redemption for Matt Nichols, at least he hopes.
Well, you go back 3 years, Matt Nichols made his first start as a Winnipeg Blue Bomber in this game. Looking to turn back history to before this 3-game skid started.
Prairie Pride on the line here. Round 2 between the provincial neighbors. Matt Nichols to shovel, now he throws. And slipping was Drew Wolotarski on the far side. Incomplete is Matt Nichols' first pass. No Weston Dressler again this week, 40.
Yeah, Dressler out of the lineup. Corey Washington makes his second start in the slot for the Blue Bombers. 3 catches last week.
In his CFL debut, second down. Bombers have struggled here recently on 2nd and long. Wolotarski calls it in, and the sold-out crowd voices its approval. A lot of Bombers, a lot of Saskatchewan fans for this one.
Well, Bombers go to a 7-man max protect, bringing the slot in, keeping the running back in to help out. Leaves you limited options in terms of your receivers, but finds Wolotarski along that sideline to move the chains.
To the 40-yard line, they'll turn and hand it off to Andrew Harris. Had a gigantic game last week in a losing cause. Came down to the final couple of minutes when Ed Gainey sealed it with an interception.
Well, we'll take a look now at the Blue Bombers starting offense. As we mentioned, Corey Washington makes the start once again in place of Weston Dressler. He's on that 1-game injured list still. Little shuffle on the O-line. Patty Neufeld slides from left guard out to right tackle. Jamarcus Hardrick still out of the lineup. Michael Couture makes the start at left guard.
2nd and 6. Riders show blitz. Crossing pattern. And Kendall Tompkins has a big gain. Big play down to the Saskatchewan 40. Kendall Tompkins, who scored a touchdown in the Labor Day Classic, is first in the CFL, has a 25-yard pickup.
Yeah, Tompkins is the number 2 receiver here. You're going to see him work his way across the field underneath. Nice job by Darvin Adams taking that inside release to create a little bit of a rub on the defender, Ed Gainey, trying to cover. Create some space for Tompkins, who seems to really be starting to find his niche in this Bomber offense.
Coming around the side is Nick Dembski, the former Rider. Has a first down, almost 17 yards for Dembski, who played in this game last year, played in in the Labor Day Classic got hurt and, of course, wore green.
We'll take a look at the Saskatchewan Roughrider defense. As mentioned, Charleston Hughes is the key. He's had a massive impact on this team. Matt Elam has proven to be a playmaker since coming in at that nickel linebacker spot, settling that spot after the injury of Derek Moncrief. And the veteran Javon Johnson is back in. He's at the field corner for the Riders, bookending Nick Marshall at the boundary.
Harris up the gut, loses his bucket, does not lose the football, although there's a skirmish, scrum. Andrew Harris went off last week.
As we said off the top, Harris for the second time this season going over 150 yards. Now usually Harris having a day like that is a good thing for the Bombers in terms of the scoreboard, but unable to take advantage of the performance of their star running back. Finished things off last week.
Dembski chopped down.
There you get a sense of the impact of Matt Elam. And bear in mind, this is a guy still kind of figuring out the CFL game, playing in a tough position. That nickel linebacker spot, lots of moving targets to deal with. We'll take a look through the ref cam. Right here, Elam doing a terrific job getting upfield, making sure he doesn't get outflanked, keeping his leverage on the play to make the tackle for a loss.
Justin Medlock to open scoring. That second down play was thwarted. I don't know if this means anything. We'll see if it trends out. The team that has scored first has won 10 of the last 14 Banjo Bowls. The rematch of last week's Labor Day game. Zach Collaros was the winner. Zach's turn when we come back on Super Saturday on TSN. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. We had rain in the Manitoba capital earlier today. Windy now. It's dry. Zach Collaros making his first appearance in a Banjo Bowl. Made his first appearance in a Labor Day Classic wearing green last week. Got the win. And he's going to hear a lot of this today. This place is off the charts. Collaros, play action. Naaman Roosevelt on a quick hitter. Brought down near the 40-yard line, half the first down yardage.
Well, we'll take a look at the starting offense for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The revelation, tremendous rookie Jordan Williams-Lambert. He has been fantastic this season. Darius Bladdock, a high pick for the Roughriders a year ago, has established himself as a starter at right guard here this season.
Newcomer Kyron Moore is out there. Big week last week. Here's the blitz. There goes the ball, and Moore drops the football. Tight coverage from the Blue Bombers secondary.
Yeah, keep an eye on Brandon Alexander working against Kyron Moore in the slot. It's terrific defensive play right in his hip pocket. As you can see, sticking the hand in there just as the ball arrives.
Very quick 2-and-out for the Riders. Had far too many this season. Josh Bartel, end over end to kick. Nick Dembski fielding the punt, but going nowhere. 3-0 Winnipeg early. Banjo Bowl time in Winnipeg. Matt Nichols trying to get off the losing skid. Earned some cheers to cheers in the peg.
I'm Derek Taylor. These are the details. Here's two possibilities for Matt Nichols' struggles. One, he's under pressure more often. 21% of his snaps versus 16% last year. Two, he's thrown the third most passes to receivers who are covered or tightly covered. Both are killers for a QB's stats.
Still has the confidence of his head coach, DT Derek Taylor, by the way, in the house, and so too is Sarah Orlesky on the sideline. Here's Sarah.
Well, Rod, there's been so much talk over the last few weeks about the play of Matt Nichols, and when I asked Mike O'Shea about his unwavering support for his starting quarterback and what they have seen that continues to give him that confidence, he pointed towards, first and foremost, the leadership that Nichols displays, the speed of his decision-making, and then also they said the accuracy on first down, especially in that last game. Matt Nichols has said that it means a lot to him that his coach continues to display that support for him. He said that he will continue to do what he's been doing in terms of preparation, and he hopes that at the end of all of this, he's able to show people that you write your own story. It doesn't matter what people say about you.
Well, thank you, Sarah. A couple of weeks ago, we heard the Boo Birds here. Created a bit of a controversy. Darvin Adams dragged down by Nick Marshall. We'll watch that matchup. Big gainer again. And Nichols and the 4-4 mark.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret that so much of a team's success in the Canadian Football League has to do with the play of their quarterback. You want to get to a Grey Cup, you need elite-level quarterbacking. Winnipeg Blue Bombers have seen both sides of that from Matt Nichols this season, and affects the rest of their offense.
Almost. Downfield quickly.
Yeah, trying to sneak the fullback, Mike Miller down the seam.
He had it too, right in the paws. All the talk here in Winnipeg about the team that's sliding right now is Marshall's on the sideline.
Yeah, Nick Marshall came up injured after he made that tackle on the sideline on Darvin Adams.
2nd and 10, pulling it back and unable to hang on again is Tompkins in blanket coverage with a veteran Ed Gainey, and it looks like Tompkins is also banged up here. Tompkins slow to get up.
Now keep an eye on Tompkins coming out of the slot. He's the number 2 receiver. As he works underneath, you'll see Gainey ties up his arms as he's on the way down.
And they are working on Kembrell Tompkins will step aside from Investors Group Field in Winnipeg. Former New England Patriot, an Oakland Raider, and New York Jet, Kembrell Tompkins, Cincinnati Bearcat, is still on the field turf, and looking to keep him very secure here. He has some movement in his legs, which is good, and it appears to be a neck or head injury for him.
Yeah, and you'll just see it appears that as he goes down, Ed Gainey, in making the play to prevent him from catching the ball, has his arms tied up, and so Tompkins basically is going down with some force, head first, face first, into the turf. So that's a pretty good force onto the neck. You'll get a pretty good look at it here.
Did get up for a moment.
Well,
they are going to take every precaution. They are,
yeah, as they should.
They're going to bring the stretcher out and take him out on that. Try to get an update as well.
And you can see the concern, obviously, with an injury of this nature from the players on both sides.
Tompkins has been writing such a good story here. Comeback story north of the border, and got his first touchdown last week in the CFL, has become a go-to guy in their offense. Now all the players are coming around and offering support as well. They knew right away, though, as the trainers came out, they motioned to the doctors on the sideline to come out quickly as well. It was indeed something serious. Just such an awkward landing when you are unable to put your hands down
Yeah, and I mean, we saw slow motion looks at it that you don't necessarily get a feel for the force with which he's going down. Obviously, again, not having his hands free to break the fall. Ed Gainey making the play, sort of coming down on top of him. Tompkins, the number 2 receiver, comes underneath.
To ensure that there's as little movement as possible, looks like, in that head and neck area. We talk about this rivalry, which is a heated one, naturally. Doesn't matter when they play. Hostilities that exist between the two teams, and of course in the middle of it, playoff race. But there is such a brotherhood in this sport. Zach Collaros, who is a former Cincinnati Bearcat. Kembrell Tompkins. Matter of fact, they were there together, offering his best wishes as well. And there's Ed Gainey.
A great show of sportsmanship from Ed Gainey. As you said, I mean, there's the brotherhood. As players, you recognize, given the nature of the game, you know, whatever player safety measures they want to put in. The fact is, Tompkins gives the thumbs up to the crowd on his way off.
And again, as we saw it, I think they're taking every necessary caution that they would need to take. But there was some movement.
Yeah. We'll take that as a positive sign, but you know, as players, you just recognize that it could be any one of you in any given moment. That is, such is the nature of the game.
There goes Kembrell, and we'll try to get an update, and we wish him the best. Justin Medlock boots the ball away. Midway point to the first quarter. Bombers converge downfield very quickly. Marcus Thigpen is there. Comes another star out of Cincinnati, former Argo and Hamilton Tiger Cat, Zach Collaros, who since coming to Saskatchewan began the season on the shelf with concussion and neck issues. 4-1. Look good.
And no doubt looking forward to today's matchup.
Deafening as well here. Sends out 5 receivers and throws a strike up near the 35-yard line, and it's Shaq Evans. 25th catch of the season. Former Bruin out of UCLA.
Just got Chris Randall to turn his hips. Turn and run, pushing deep on that one. Corey hooked it up, nicely run route.
Collaros now changing the play, and he can't hear a thing right now. Brings everybody in. 1st and 10. And a deception play here. And they give it off to Trey Mason. Mason, who hasn't had much of a workload this season in the backfield, but has been effective, is effective here.
Yeah, they sold the pass look for that quick handoff on the draw. Sucked the Bombers in a little bit.
Former St. Louis Ram. 15 career NFL games. Again, look at the noise factor. Collaros has to go up and change things, and zigging and a zagging. It's Mason once more. Let's take a look at this Blue Bomber defense.
Yeah, look up front. Jackson Jeffcoat still out of this lineup. I mean, Craig Rowe gets the start. He's been an important rotation guy, as is Anthony Gator. Will play the nickel spot. Leggett continues to be able to learn that. Line up. Marcus Sales at boundary half. Put together a nice rookie season thus far. He's been a good find for the Blue Bombers.
Short second down conversion, and that lunge across the midfield stripe may have been enough to move the sticks. Mason getting the touch once more. 3-0 game so far. Kind of the feeling out process. Don't you get a sense in this one so far?
Well, certainly a little bit of that, but you look at this drive and stringing together a few runs, a few touches here for Trey Mason suggests the Riders are looking to establish that line of scrimmage a little bit. Play a physical game, wear out a Bombers defensive line. That because of some injuries, etc. Bombers have 6 guys, only 6 guys dressed on their defensive line for this game, which in today's CFL with the bigger rosters is a small number, you know, and you have a chance to try and wear those guys down as you see the view from Kim Murphy and the rep cam.
Saw the Riders were short by just millimeters. 3rd and inches. Just a lay across for the Riders. Easily attained and now into Winnipeg territory. Silence this sold-out crowd.
Talk about the Bomber defensive line, as I said, with just 6 guys dressed. By contrast, Saskatchewan has 9 defensive linemen dressed, 10 if you include Eddie Steele, who's something of a swingman, so a lot more depth.
Kyran Moore is dropped for a loss. Anthony Gator was there. Gator was taking Mo Leggett's spot. Linebacking core was out his side on this play.
Yeah, Gator looking to make up for lost time with this play. Moore's trailer in the slot. Gator straight up on him. Anthony Gator missed a little time with injury early in the season.
Brandon Alexander also getting to him. So it's 2nd down and long for the green and white. Polaris has time, and a spiral that was almost picked off. Looking for Roosevelt. That was Robert Priester. Wyoming Cowboy. Almost had his first CFL interception.
Yeah, Priester on as an extra DB, a dime back, if you will, in that 2nd and long situation.
Nick Dembski is back again. Bartel, kicker from down under. Unique kicking style. A lot of backspin on it. Dembski from his 20. Has a couple of yards. Well, it started as an offside comment by a former kicker, Troy Westwood. It's become the Banjo Bowl. Saskatchewan and Winnipeg, the teams, the players, the fans, and even the mascots. Second weekend in September, always the rematch weekend. Of course, the bounce back bowl for some teams, the Banjo Bowl, which started in 2004. Again, Troy Westwood's comments at the time. All-time series, Winnipeg leads 8-6. Whereas Saskatchewan over those last 14 years has dominated Labor Day. Forcing those Bombers to bounce back. Speaking of going back, Andrew Harris, Sam McGuavin, initial contact.
Well, after he put up 158 on the Roughriders last week, you can bet that Andrew Harris is going to get some extra attention. McGuavin is going to come off the left edge of your screen. He maintains that outside contained leverage, giving Andrew Harris really no option in terms of being able to bounce that play.
Harris in the backfield, and this play won't get off. We had a false start. Willie Jefferson was in quickly. Riders are pointing to that Bomber O-line saying they moved. Again, our referee today is Kim Murphy.
Procedure. Winnipeg, number 59. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
First penalty of this game. Winnipeg team that doesn't take too many. Fewest penalty yardage in the CFL. Nichols, delayed draw for Harris, gets one block, and then runs into a stone wall.
Lucas Purifoy, former BC Lion and Ottawa Red Black, came up strong in run support from his halfback position that time.
Where is that wall with the number 28 on it? Lucas Purifoy, the former Lion, and began the season with the Ottawa Red Blacks. Forcing another kick with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. All defense so far. Just a 3-point ball game. Justin Medlock launching. Shortish kick. Saskatchewan's going to have a good starting point here. Let's go down to the sideline, get an update on Kembrell Tompkins. Here's Sarah.
Well, Rod, understandably, there isn't much of an update available from the team right now, but we did see the positive sign of Kembrell Tompkins being able to raise his arm and give the thumbs up to the crowd as he left on the stretcher. The team says that he has been taken to hospital for further evaluation, but he does have full movement in his extremities.
And very good sign. Wish this young guy well. That's picked. That's gone. Touchdown. Anthony Gator jumps the route and jumps into the end zone. Gator climbs the stairs and joins that mosh pit in the north end zone. And he's joined by all his DBs. Remember a few years ago, Bomber DBs back in the old stadium, they made a living in the north end zone.
From a Bomber point of view, that was sure worth celebrating. You talk about jumping around, this is big time. A hitch, a play going right down the line. Anthony Gator was all over it. Read this one right from the get-go.
Anthony Gator. First interception of the season. First interception as a Bomber. His first touchdown wearing blue and gold. And the defense scores here early on. Bombers who have put up a ton of points off of turnovers. That's an immediate turnaround on a turnover.
Here you see Anthony Gator, and here you see 1, 2, 3, 4 Saskatchewan receivers. He knows what's coming. Watch the jump that he gets. He's not worried about getting in there to blow up blocks. He is just making a straight run to that passing lane. Read it perfectly. Great understanding of what the offense was trying to do. Great effort and execution to make sure they couldn't do it successfully.
Gator's third CFL touchdown. Fumble return and an interception return over the last couple of seasons wearing orange in BC. Zach Collaros can only watch. Look at that tablet. Mistake to be corrected. Zip Winnipeg. And a Gator bite. And already Saskatchewan knows they've got to find a way to quiet this crowd. Bombers just gave them more reason to pump up the volume. Headlock, taking it back to Saskatchewan. A minute to go in the first quarter. Lots of football left. Marcus Thigpen up near the 30.
Make your getaway with intelligent all-wheel drive in the 2018 Nissan Qashqai.
So Zach's 5th interception of the season. He missed the early part of the season. 4-2 as a Riders starter. Been part of this 3-game win streak. Shaky start here though in Winnipeg today. Look at this, Trey Mason. Slippery back.
Yeah, Mason off to a good start here today, running the ball for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Once again, try and wear down that defensive front for Winnipeg. A little bit with the run game early, slow down any pass rush as the game goes on.
Riders are second last in second down conversions coming into this week. Play action, Kalaros, and that was knocked away. Chandler Fenner. Eamon Roosevelt thought he had the football. So did Rider fans. Not so. And again, the offense heads to the sideline.
You'll see the quick slant coming in from the left side of your screen. Roosevelt just unable to handle that one cleanly. Let it get into his body, off the hard pads into the turf.
Last play, barring penalty, this first quarter, dominated by the defenses. And a pick six. Nick Dembski is handling the punt returns today. No flags on the play, so that is 1 quarter complete in the 2018 edition of the Banjo Bowl. As the Bombers hope will be a bounce-back day after their loss last week down the Trans-Canada Highway in Regina. 10-0 Winnipeg on our triple header Saturday on TSN. 15 minutes complete at Investors Group Field. Our second game of 3 today. A 9-hour day of football on TSN. Earlier today, the Hamilton Tiger Cats over the Toronto Argos. And right now, the Blue Bombers lead the Saskatchewan Roughriders by 10 after 1. Two teams riding very hot and cold vibes coming in here. Two different stories coming into this one.
Yeah, heading in very different directions. Obviously, you've got Saskatchewan having won 3 in a row, led largely by their defense. They've been the group that has set the tone for them. Winnipeg having lost 3 in a row, and the big talk being that their offense has been struggling. But the Bombers got certainly the start that they needed here today in trying to fight their way through that adversity. A 10-0 first quarter lead.
Guy who's been battling some adversity, Matt Nichols. Again, his offense on track. Down the sideline, and there is Washington. Corey Washington will add 15 to that. The face mask on the play, and in his second game with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Corey Washington has his 4th catch. Former NFLer comes back to the football. They'll add 15 onto this on the face mask.
Corey Washington, such a big target. At 6'4", he lines up into the boundary. You'll notice how they isolate him. They're trying to set up that one-on-one matchup. Other 4 receivers are on the other side of the field. He's got lots of room to work. Great back shoulder throw here as he sells it. He's going deep. Delays it to the last second to break that off. You see Elam with the left hand pull Washington down by the face mask to add a few extra yards on that big play.
52-yard play if you add the penalty. 37-yard catch and run from Washington. The Bombers came into the week tied for first in big plays. plus 20-yard runs, plus 30-yard catches. That's a big play. It's another big play player. Andrew Harris, battering ram. Sure, Harris is going to be given some of the room that he had last week to roam. And here is a guy who comes into the game close to 1,000 yards rushing again. Needed 37 before the game. Bombers wanted to go, but the play wasn't whistled in. Bombers were going up tempo. Ball has to be whistled in.
Yeah, a little too up tempo.
Andrew Harris has been moved out a few times. Paul Appolice's system, number of plays. They move him out to that wide out position. Have him out here again.
Yeah, you'll get an indication in terms of what Saskatchewan's going to try to do coverage-wise and follow him with a linebacker, so you know it's man.
Batted down and into the midst of Willie Jefferson. Goodbye, Willie. Here comes Darvin Adams, but Willie Jefferson.
Willie Jefferson's taking a route that's going to make the opposition not all that happy.
No, he decided to do some dancing and celebrating. And what a crazy start to this Banjo Bowl. 2 lightning bolt pick sixes. One by Anthony Gator. Willie Jefferson drinks this one up, and then Jefferson, it was like he was waiting for a marching band to appear at one point.
Well, they're trying to hit Andrew Harris, who's coming across underneath. He gets tripped and falls down, but that's irrelevant, as the wingspan of Willie Jefferson doesn't let that ball pass the line of scrimmage. Now, this was about the point where the crowd here at Investors Group Field started booing Willie Jefferson when he did a 90-degree turn to run across the field instead of heading straight to the end zone.
Well, Willie ran it about 85 yards or so, but add another 30 for going across the field. And Willie rubs it in. And Saskatchewan putting points on the board. Brett Lowther with the point after. Well, it is about picking, right? The banjo. You pick the banjo. Well, it's a pick six day today so far on Banjo Bowl Day.
Well, you see Willie Jefferson, his defensive end spot. Where Matt Nichols is looking on this play is for Andrew Harris. Harris is going to motion down, and he's coming underneath. It's kind of an underneath screen, but he's looking right there. Willie Jefferson's looking at the eyes of the quarterback. He sees where the passing lane is and slides inside. Perfectly timed leap. He picks it up, takes the scenic route to the end zone. We got ourselves a ball game.
Jefferson's second career interception, the first in last year's playoffs. This one, though, for 6 points. Timothy Flanders doing some of the returning, so with Nick Dembski, because Kevin Fogg not in this game today. And the Bombers have to do some shuffling. This was a shuffle all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, Jefferson does a nice job, folds inside on the man blocking him to get himself into that passing lane. Jefferson, guy who originally started his college football career at Baylor as a receiver.
Showed why.
Wide receiver, became tight end, kept outgrowing positions, ultimately ending up as a defensive end.
He had a great interception last year in the East Final that went down to the wire. Suddenly momentum is shifted here. Bombers seized it with a pick six. Riders down 3, and one of our officials is down. chirping going on down there. A lot of it coming from the bleachers too.
After the play, objectional conduct. Saskatchewan, number 93. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down, Winnipeg.
Cale Brooks in mixing it up with Andrew Harris. Catches the official with one across the chops.
Crowd seeing that on the big screen right now. Adam Paradowski was the official who went down.
We're lucky that wasn't Kim Murphy, because that would have badly damaged the ref cam.
Yes, it would have. Would have been unusable. Again, a false start here.
Spot correction. Yeah, spot correction. Spot correction.
Talking about error in spotting the ball, so they'll move it back to the 37-yard line of Winnipeg. The life of the black and white stripes. Still wincing.
It's a big man from whom to take an elbow.
Yes, it is. Nichols in the gun. 3 receivers in motion. Looking over there. And a one-handed grab. Oh, Nick Dembski can't bring it in. For a moment, looked like he was able to snap that back to his body with one hand. Did not. The former Roughrider.
Yeah, Dembski.
Thinking about running first.
Yeah, with the ball slightly behind him. Not sure he couldn't have been able to maybe turn a little bit more to get another hand on that football. I mean, the reality is, as much as it'll get labeled as hot dogging, that the one-handed catch has become kind of a legitimate skill in this era. Something that guys practice.
So Adams going to the sideline. A few big injuries already here today to players and now to our officiating staff.
Yeah, I think we're maybe for the first time seeing an official under, and I'm not
a protocol.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not taking this lightly when I say under concussion protocol. He took a pretty hard shot and went down.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get an update on him. And into traffic. And Ed Gainey, who got his first pick last week, has his second pick in as many weeks. And he said to us yesterday,
Major foul, roughing the passer.
But that's going to be taken away. As you just heard, roughing the passer. An interception just got intercepted.
Here you'll see a look. Watch Mac Henry right on the hash marks. He's getting blocked, and you know his argument will be that he got thrown in to Matt Nichols' knee, but the fact is the officials aren't going to judge intent. They're just going to judge where that defensive lineman makes the hit. He's below that strike zone, flag goes up.
Look how close that ref cam was, so Kim Murphy a perfect view of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's his job. He's watching the quarterback, watching the pocket. Roughing the passer is the referee's call.
And Gainey had his pick taken away. He's jawing with that Winnipeg sideline. Ed said yesterday, guy who over the last couple of seasons has had a bag full of interceptions, told us yesterday that he's going to be getting them in bunches. And Adam is back on the field, so that's good. Timothy Flanders, first touch from the backfield. He's been given spot duty the last couple of seasons. And when he has been in the lineup, the guy with that red dyed hair, I think that's red. What would you call that color?
You think it's dyed?
Copper red hair.
Tim Flanders is a guy who became a significant part of this team's offense in the second half of last year. A great insurance policy, not just against injury for Harris, but in terms of taking the pressure off.
There's Flanders into the backfield, but quickly corralled. Iguavan's there, and that'll bring out the kick team. So even after that roughing the passer. The Bombers can't move the football beyond the midfield stripe, and they'll give it back to Saskatchewan with just over 11 minutes to go until halftime in this 3-point game.
And we've talked earlier this season about how the Bombers have kind of made up for the absence of Timothy Flanders in the way that they've used Nick Dembski at times, putting him in that second running back role, hybrid running back slot, whatever you want to call it. Timothy Flanders, a guy who certainly can spell Andrew Harris and perform at a high level, have some flexibility ratio-wise that enables them to do at times in building their offensive package, get both of those guys on the field, which makes it a little bit harder for teams to key on Harris in the run game.
Kurt Majid is down, the former Tennessee Volunteer, the day for the walking wounded, and now he is back up. Sarah's going to be kept busy on that sideline today. We have had a number of injuries so far. Busy day in the Canadian Football League. Approach that second half of the season on week 13. Medlock with that left foot will launch from near his 43. Big kick inside that 10-yard line. And down goes Kyran Moore, who took one back last week. Not taking it anywhere that time.
Yeah, I'm going to call that a second game mistake, because if you looked at the trajectory of that ball, it's going into the end zone. Play for the field position.
Give up one. Chandler Fenner. This is what Kyran Moore did last week in his first touchdown.
Not so bad. Performers of the week. A week ago. Punt return touchdown. Got a few passes out of the slot as well.
Not this time. The guy they call Swerve. Number of Bombers down. Long field for Zach Collaros. Pulls it back. Naaman Roosevelt up near the first down marker on the far side. Chris Randall brings him down. Penalty flag is down. It's a late flag. It's against the Riders.
Illegal interference, blocking downfield prior to the pass. Saskatchewan number 1 will go half the distance to the goal, remaining first down.
We'll watch Shaq Evans number 1. He's trying to sell it that Chris Randall got in his way, but I don't think anybody's buying it.
First and 14 inside their own 5. And down went Roosevelt looking for a flag. He was interfered with. No call. It's second down and a key down here in this first half. Riders may have to give up 2 if they can't get a first down.
Within 5 yards, not seen as anything excessive. Less than no call.
Riders who practice with speakers all week. Bombers with noise as well. Defensively can hardly hear the whistles. There's a penalty flag way back at the 30-yard line. Take it back even more, it looks like.
Time count violation. Saskatchewan half the distance to the goal. Remains second down.
Second down. Have to get up to the 18-yard line. 16 to go. Oh, knocking it down. Randall a handle again.
Yeah, big series for Chris Randall. And we'll mention again, it all goes back to the decision that Kyron Moore made in fielding that punt deep in his own end. It kind of plays out that the Saskatchewan Roughriders probably should have given up the single.
So instead of giving up one, getting better field position, they're likely going to give up two and give the ball back to Winnipeg. Martel deep in his end zone. Oh, he's booted it out. Surprised by that one. Bombers are in immediate field goal position, and Nick Dembski gives them even better position. You surprised by that, partner?
I'm not surprised that they kicked it out. Derek Taylor wouldn't be either. We could talk to him about that a little later. But the fact is, you said it, instant field position for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Hamilton beat Toronto earlier today. Shaw Road to the Grey Cup continues tonight. Third of our triple header. What a day to be a couch potato. Sit all day, watch a game, or if you're in the cities, go to the stadium. Stamps and Eskimos, the Battle of Alberta. It'll be a bounce back week for Edmonton. Bombers looking to rebound after their loss against Chris Jones and the Riders last week. Instant field position thanks to the Dembski return. And Matt Nichols swings it up for Andrew Harris, who rumbles down that far sideline and has a first down into the red zone. Last time they were here, of course, Willie Jefferson took the ball back 95 yards on a pick six.
Nice play action here. Fake the run to Harris, and he kind of gets forgotten about. After that run fake, and he's able to slip out to the flat. Pick up that first down.
Third trip to the red zone or green zone, whatever you prefer. The score zone inside the 20. First and 10. Harris again, brought down, cut down by Matt Elam.
Again, Matt Elam has been a nice find in that Saskatchewan Roughrider linebacking core. That's not the easiest job to fill. Nickelbacker, you got to make plays like that in the run game as part of the force unit. You've got to be a good cover guy. This is a guy who's adapted very well, former Baltimore Raven.
Florida Gator, 2nd and 13. Nichols stands in. Oh, what a catch! It will be short of the first down by Wolotarski. Leaping, flying catch. Had to get down to the 5-yard line. This is a Saskatchewan defense, by the way, best in the CFL inside that red zone defensively.
Well, they've demonstrated that already today.
There was a flag on the play. She's gathering around. Rough Rider fans travel well. They travel all around the country.
Away from Mexico.
Illegal contact on a receiver. Saskatchewan, number 15. We're going to go up 5 yards. It's going to be second down repeated.
So it will be second down repeated, as you heard. Makes it a little easier for Winnipeg to get that first down.
Well, keep an eye on Wolotarski coming in motion. Mike Edom is the man shadowing him in coverage. And just a little too long in the eyes of the officials.
Nichols gives it to Dembski. Dembski sprinting out, looking for the end zone, and he's barreled out of bounds near the goal line. Bombers were working on this play in their packages yesterday, their walkthrough. An inside jet sweep from Dembski, the Winnipeg native.
Yeah, and you get an indication of the explosiveness of Dembski here. He decided he was going to bolt for it and just outran the angle on Charleston Hughes to turn that one upfield. Just for a moment, it looked like he might be stopped in the backfield by the Riders' defensive end.
Purifoy saves a touchdown, but it might be a moot point here unless the Riders can come up with a stand, force a turnover. Chris Strevler is in. calling his own number. Oh, the Riders go over the top. He's not even close. He's battling his way in. There's no signal. That required a fourth effort. Did you see the Riders go over the top there, and that completely altered the path of Strevler. That was Iguavan.
Yeah, great
Offside.
anticipation of
Saskatchewan, number 47.
But he
The
was
ball remained
too
on the
close.
1 yard line. Repeat first down.
And a redo.
anticipated it a little too well, apparently.
Heard of that game called Leapfrog? That's Leap Bomber. There it is. First and goal again. Strevler again. And this time, he leaps in. And this all goes back to that decision by Kyran Moore.
Yeah, the trade and field position, you end up giving, you kick it out, not give up the safety. But you combine what would have been a short field to start with a great return from Dembski. Couple of successful plays from the Bombers, and they're in.
They extend the lead. Medlock comes out to add one more. Austin Medlock has been money. 32-yard point afters. It's a record of 45 in a row. To make it a 10-point lead. Past the midway point, the second quarter. Easy does it for Medlock. And Jamarcus Hardrick isn't in the ball game this week. There he is. He has been the #1 cheerleader. He'll be back soon. He was running around yesterday. Outstanding O-lineman. Maybe the guys who leads the charge usually into the end zone and into the stands. Hardrick was also pumping up Bomber fans before this ball game. There he is.
He is the
new mascot.
Hardest working man not dressed for today's game.
He might be the world's largest cheerleader as well. Jamarcus Hardrick, what a character he is. Bombers should have him back soon. They had him listed, as a matter of fact, today's game, but
does he know he's hurt?
I'm sure Mike O'Shea's looking over. Okay, easy does it, man. Easy does it. Big guy. Bombers have a 10-point lead. Now the Riders have to punch back. Such a terrific rivalry. Game went down to the final minutes last week. Normally does between these two sides. Marcus Thigpen back. Will go the other way. And it's Moore again. Kyran Moore. The redemption for him brings it up near the 40. Again, the guy who blazed a trail to the end zone his first game last week. So both of these quarterbacks have some corrections in this ball game. Pick sixes. Zach Collaros trying to get his offense going, and a much easier starting position 40 this time.
Yeah, I mean, you open up a lot more of your playbook, and quite frankly, your margin for error, so to speak, when you're not backed up in your own end.
Jesse Briggs, injured Bomber. It's almost every 2 or 3 plays. Trainers are out in the field dragging somebody off. Chandler Fenner also down.
I think you get a combination of factors. Obviously, there's a notched up level of intensity that goes along with the games and this span of a couple of weeks. But, you know, you're also kind of hitting that point in the season where, you know, young guys are reaching the point where this is more games than they have typically played in college and that sort of thing. And just in general, I mean, even with the bye weeks, just where fatigue is maybe too strong a word, but where guys are worn down enough that you're a little more susceptible to injury. Where you see Chandler Fenner.
Took a couple of shots there.
Well, a couple of shots of friendly fire.
Now return from Kyran Moore, and Fendler will limp to the sidelines as well. By the way, the largest comeback win in a Banjo Bowl game, the Roy Westwood inspired title, is 11. It was by the Roughriders back in 2005. I'd like to get this a little closer here. Make it a little more palatable before halftime. Polaris with time. Deep shot here. Looking for Evans, and it's picked. Brandon Alexander on a moonshot that Zach Collaros would dearly love to have back.
But yeah, you're going to see that Zach Collaros has guys right in his face. I believe it was big Brandon Bryant who was right in his face.
There is a flag. 40 again. This is an interception that's going to be taken back.
Pass interference. Winnipeg, number 1. Point of foul, automatic first down.
Kind of wondered why Alexander was so wide open for that pick. Maybe we have a reason. Mike O'Shea taking a look at that big scoreboard. So Collaros, first and 10 now. 35-yard difference field position. Gets new life. Collaros has his man, and it's caught. Jordan Williams-Lambert with his first catch, and you talked about the revelation this guy has become.
Love this guy. Love watching him play the game. Big-bodied receiver. Makes the tough catches. Just a fantastic addition to this football team. Gets involved in their pass protection schemes when he's called in from the slot. Every week there's a new highlight from Jordan Williams-Lambert.
Not bad for a guy they found in a tryout camp and a mini camp, and he's become a go-to guy. Might even see him here. First and 10, outside the 10. Collaros down near the 10-yard line, and it's Williams-Lambert again. That previous play, had that ball been a little lower, Williams-Lambert was in the end zone.
Yeah, wide open. Tough catch, but he got it done.
He's second down now with 5 minutes to go before halftime. Rod in the panel standing by. Lots to talk about. They can get a new set of downs, taking it to the 1. Collaros would like to take this to the house. Far side, penalty flag as Collaros was hit late. It looks like it might be a roughing the passer. Or it's a hold. It's a hold against Saskatchewan. They'll decline this.
Holding.
There's that
Saskatchewan, number 58. The penalty is declined. It'll be third down.
Kobe Caulfield had his hands up. It's a body hold.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to demonstrate that he wasn't grabbing, but they felt he impeded his man in a way that was flag-worthy.
Brett Lowther, the St. Mary's product out of Truro, Nova Scotia, doing the kicking this year for the Riders. This is just a chippy. From a 17 to make it a 7-point game.
Oh, to the crib, to the crib, to the crib. They're gonna have a plan for me next week. I'm finna in the snow. Up in the snow now.
CFL Wire comes your way. Mic'd up, sound up. Tuesday, 7:30, 4:30. TSN 1, 3, 4, and 5. Mike's on today. Some of the players on Tuesday. Riders unable to finish that drive.
Yeah, no doubt disappointment for Zach Collaros. Drive penalty aided, obviously, by the big pass interference call. They called that interference on Robert Priester. He kind of ran up on Shaq Evans, who was the intended receiver, prevented him from being able to come back to the ball.
Well, the Battle of the Prairies. Prairie's known for its great hospitality, a lot of hostility today. Out of the backfield is Adams. Gets a good block from Wolotarski. Up near the 50-yard line for Darvin Adams. 4 minutes to go before halftime.
But the Bombers do a nice job freeing up Darvin Adams. Right, he's going to come from the backfield, releases from behind that line of scrimmage. Makes it hard for a defender to track him through that kind of traffic, and they're able to slip him out wide open into the flat.
Second catch, Bombers go. Quick tempo. Adams again turning. Went one way, turned the other, and another step, and he might have been gone. Bombers go for a kill shot here, but it's incomplete.
Another of those Tiger versus Tiger battles. Former Auburn quarterback Nick Marshall, of course, who's been so terrific on the boundary corner for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Meeting a couple of his former fellow alum, Darvin Adams, Duke Williams, playing out on that side of the field.
Quick slant. Wolotarski has a first down. Down near the 48 of Saskatchewan. Getting close to the 3-minute warning. Maybe one more play to come here, where they signal the sidelines.
Wolotarski in a little bit of traffic. You saw Ed Gainey just jump outside for a split second, just as Wolotarski made his break in, creating a small window for the receiver to make that catch.
Winnipeg much better on second down conversion today. 5 for 10. The Roughriders 0 for 6. And knocked down, and there's Willie Jefferson again. The man with the enormous wingspan. Let's get that garbage out of here. And now doing a little soccer dribbling. Kim Murphy taking a look at this one. That's how big Willie Jefferson is. You had a pick 6 earlier. It's the 3-minute warning before halftime in Winnipeg.
We're going to talk about 3 significant moments we've seen so far. The 2 pick sixes, also Saskatchewan's decision to punt from their own end zone. We'll also talk a little Calgary and Edmonton too at the half. Back to Rod and Wayne.
All right, thank you, Rod. Looking forward to seeing you guys at halftime. And again, don't forget Battle of Alberta later today. Great day to be watching CFL football. Week after Labor Day, football season kicking into gear. Leaves start to fall. Temperature cools down. The playoff races heat up. Nichols, deep drop, in trouble. And that's up for grabs, and it is picked off. Luchez Purifoy has the interception, and again, another ball here that Matt Nichols probably shouldn't have put up there. And Luchez Purifoy on the ricochet. And so now, we're not just limited to touchdown celebrations, but interception celebrations.
Well, Matt Nichols is going to be wrapped up here, and it's that desperation. You see a glimpse of your receiver, but as you're falling backwards, there's no way the throw is going to be where you want that throw to be.
Eat it or throw it. Yeah,
I mean, it's, as a veteran quarterback, I'm not trying to pile on Matt Nichols by any stretch, but as a veteran quarterback.
Oh, baby! That was a huge lick, and there's a penalty flag down after Marcus Sales. It might be a taunting play here after Shaq Evans just got pummeled. So, okay, I understand the taunting
after
stuff.
The play, objection of conduct. Winnipeg, number 93. That's a 10-yard penalty. First down, Saskatchewan.
Apparently, they kicked the mouth guard.
Yeah, you're going to see the mouth guard comes out. And Craig Rowe kicks it.
And I can understand that one.
So you see the red mouth guard on the ground.
Now we've opened up everything to celebrations and demonstrations.
Slippery slope.
It is. 1st and 10. Roughriders. 2 minutes to go before the half. Collaros whips it into traffic, and he got hammered in the backfield as he threw that football.
Yeah, Brandon Bryant from his D tackle spot lowers the boom on Collaros that time. You get a great view from Kim Murphy's angle.
Boom. Another key 2nd down conversion. Roughriders have struggled in this department today. 0 for 6 on 2nd down. Blitz comes. Ball goes to Mason again, and Mason, close to the first down, is going to be about 2 yards short, likely going to bring out Brent Lowther as Collaros looks to the sideline. See how close this is. They might still go. Actually, that's a good spot. It's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, exactly.
But it looks like they are bringing out Lowther and are going to take these points, unless they got something up their sleeve.
And if you're Winnipeg, nothing should catch you off guard here in terms of fakes or snap counts or anything like that. This is a situation in which you have to expect it.
Lowther from the 36.5 down Main Street. Back to a 4-point ball game. Good ball game here. Well, get ready for a brand new season of the gritty drama critics call captivating, Dwayne Ford. And the next HBO classic, The Deuce, which Saskatchewan should have probably taken a little earlier. Premieres tomorrow at 9 Eastern, only on HBO Canada. More drama here today. Bombers looking for an elixir to their 3-game slide. The best fixer is a win. Roughriders riding high with 3 straight victories. Will a streak stop today? Tarski picks his way up near the 53. And Nichols with some zip on that one.
You'll see pretty good protection here from the Roughriders, or excuse me, from the Blue Bombers, aided by the fact that Willie Jefferson, who's been something of a nemesis for Matt Nichols throughout this ball game, he sniffed out Timothy Flanders lining up, setting up a screen.
Big blitz. Dembski hanging on, and Nick Dembski, penalty flag down as he was going out of bounds. And Dembski, that straight arm. Possible face
Major
mask
foul.
here.
Face mask. Saskatchewan, number 28. 15 yards from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
The face mask. Purifoy. Positive play, that one a negative play. Bombers quickly up on the ball here. 1st and 10 from the 33. Nichols with protection. Looking for Wolotarski. Jump ball. And it's picked. And it's Aguavin who was there. Ed Gainey knocked that to Aguavin as well. And there was looking like there was some serious combat down there.
This will be an interesting one to look at the replay.
Wonder if Mike O'Shea's going to look at the replay here and may want to challenge.
I mean,
After the interception.
He's going to challenge.
Legal block. Saskatchewan, number 15. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
O'Shea's tossing the challenge. By the way, both of these teams have not won a challenge this season. 0 for 3 and 0 for 2. Let's get some evidence here. CFL command will take it away.
Yeah, it was a ball that was a little bit underthrown. Keep an eye on Wolodarski, the outside receiver. Gainey comes out over top of him. As the ball is thrown,
Winnipeg
it's
is challenging
underthrown
the
a little
previous
bit.
play. Pass interference against their receiver, number 82. We'll review the play.
Nice little bat by Gainey, but what do you think?
Yeah, and you know, I understand the call on the field on this one in that, you know, Gainey's got his position where Wolodarski's trying to fight back through him. I think that the issue that may hurt Ed Gainey on this one, though, is you saw the right arm that was around behind the back of the receiver. You know, whereas if it was just his body position that was preventing the receiver from getting back to the football, I think Gainey's got a better case. But the right arm around behind the receiver's back, you could say kind of restraining him, impeding him, whatever word you want to use, that may factor into this call.
Blair Brown was the side judge down there taking a look at that play right in front of him. Some serious jostling. They're giving it to Ed Gainey on the sideline. This would be a significant penalty if this call was overturned. The call on the field is an interception. Gainey the assist, Purifoy the pick. Even when that ball was in the air, you kind of looked at it and thought, you know.
Well, yeah, you can see the receivers trying to fight back to the ball and can't get off the defender to try and make a play on it. You can see that they were kind of tangled up again. If it's just a matter of Gainey having his position and holding his position, he'd be fine. But because of where his arm was, he's limiting the movement of the receiver, which creates the issue.
Had a number of turnovers here already. May have a verdict. And the crowd will let you know
After
who won.
review, the ruling on the field is overturned. We have pass interference. Saskatchewan, number 11. The ball will be placed at the 7-yard line. The penalty for illegal block will not be applied by rule. First down.
So now both teams have to trot their teams back out. Bombers offense, Saskatchewan defense.
And it'll be Chris Strebler running the offense from mid-tight here for Winnipeg. The ball on the Saskatchewan 7-yard line.
Minute 8 to go. And we talked about Saskatchewan's stout red zone defense. So another interception's taken off the board. And 6 picks in this game for you. 2 that went back for touchdowns. And another 3.
Yeah, negated by penalties.
Wiped out by flags. Hasn't been a great day for the quarterbacks throwing the football, has it?
Well, they're throwing the football under pressure. When you look whether the interceptions have stood or not, so many of them have been caused by pressure. Quarterbacks unable to step into a throw. Quarterbacks getting knocked down as he's throwing.
So it is Matt Nichols back in the gun, spreading it out, calling his own number, and he threw it right into the midst of Sam McLovin. Another pick. Goodbye to the 40, the 20. No flags. Unbelievable. And here come the boos in Winnipeg. And now there's a scrap on the Bombers sideline. Ed Gainey was getting into it with Darvin Adams.
Ed Gainey went,
and look at this.
On the play, Ed Gainey went directly to Mike O'Shea and got in O'Shea's face. Suk Chung stepped in, Darvin Adams stepped in and went after the Saskatchewan defender.
Well, the neighbors go into the neighbor's yard. This has been a nutty first half of football.
Oh, it certainly has, but you know, you watch that play and you think Matt Nichols finally figured out Willie Jefferson as he kind of did the pump fake on Jefferson. Watch number 7 on the left. Nichols gets him in the air. But again, Nichols trying to do too much, trying to make a play when there wasn't a play to be made, and ends up paying an exorbitant price for it here.
And hearing the Bronx cheer again, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders have their first lead. Clamoring back. 7 interceptions in a first half of football. 3 taken away by penalty. 3 taken the distance.
Yeah, well, we talked about the Saskatchewan Roughriders defense.
Not sure what that was.
I think he's probably trying to throw it away and avoid giving up the yardage on the sack.
But I think he was hit at the same time, and
yeah, it didn't get to where he wanted it to get to, obviously.
Out of bounds, obviously. He was trying to throw that out of bounds. This Saskatchewan team, though, they're vultures. The DBs,
sure
they are ball hawks. Great wingspans, great mitts,
and not
great
just
speed.
the DBs. You look at Willie Jefferson and Sam McGuavin today.
Linebacker, D-end. Willie Jefferson arguably forced that play as well.
Yeah. Forces him to pull it down and step up. You just see the frustration from Matt Nichols. Even trying to throw it away, trying to do the right thing, trying to protect field position.
Deep kick for Flanders with 53 to go. A chance for the Bombers to get it to field goal position. Pinballs up near the 17-yard line. Nichols comes back out, and listen. And now a scrap on the far side again. Penalty flags down. Which might incite Winnipeg fans even more, is that Strebler was on the field at the beginning of that last play. Nichols came back in, and debate it all we want, but bottom line is when you're slumping and you're not playing well, you're going to hear it in any city.
Saskatchewan, number 11.
And especially in this city.
First down.
The most popular player for many years is always the backup quarterback.
Yeah, well, and especially when you've lost 3 in a row. Saskatchewan Roughriders with 216 yards in interception return penalties. That's on 3 picks. 2 of those taken back to the house. By contrast, Matt Nichols, 165 passing yards.
And I know Mike O'Shea said it earlier about the decision making. She admires the leadership in Nichols, but there has been some questionable decisions in that pocket today.
Well, Matt Nichols is a competitive guy, and he's trying to make something happen, trying to get things going, trying to make a play. And you know, we've seen a couple today where what he's most guilty of is pressing a little bit too hard, trying to do too much instead of just doing what has made Matt Nichols successful through most of his time in blue and gold.
Talked about it yesterday. Andrew Harris talked about it. Nichols talked about it. Longer field to go.
After review by the command center, we had offsetting major fouls. Winnipeg 29, Saskatchewan number 11. Those penalties offset, the first down at the 18-yard line.
Bizarre first half here in the Banjo Bowl 2018. Can't wait for the second half. Nichols forced out of the pocket. Now has Wolotarski. Juggle on. No, it's incomplete.
Yeah, didn't control it in time.
39 to go. Need a first down. Finally, Nichols started to move the pocket.
Well, you see Wolotarski juggle this as he's going out of bounds. Doesn't secure it until he crosses the white stripe.
Second and 10 from their 18. They're looking for a first down here. Handed off to Harris. Andrew Harris hasn't had many touches in this first half and is getting nowhere near the yardage he had last week. Quickly goes to the sideline. Winnipeg will kick it back. Saskatchewan is going to get it back here before halftime. They might have some good field position. They put 2 returners back and might put it in field goal position here in 32.
Yeah, get 2 returners back. Make sure that ball doesn't get on the ground. Justin Medlock is in a part of the field where obviously he's got to be careful in terms of kicking for the sidelines because it can't go out of bounds between the 20s without a penalty.
Remember what happened last week around this kind of field position, almost blocked. They're keeping it away from Kyran Moore. And Marcus Thigpen steps out. But that clock was ticked all the way down. Justin Medlock did a good job of using up that play clock and game clock all the way down to 5 seconds. So the Saskatchewan Roughriders might be pretty content to just take a knee here after what is not your conventional way to score a lot of points. And Chris Jones shaking his head. Well, they're going to take a shot, it looks like, or will they? 5 seconds to go. They can get a quick hitter, might put it in field goal position. That's what they're trying to do. Collaros now stepping up, and Kyran Moore goes down, but they're not going to have enough time. That's the first half. Wild one. 3 pick sixes. Chris Streveler, might we see him in the second half? It's the Banjo Bowl. What do you do in the banjo? You pick and you grin. That's what's happening so far here today. Let's go to Rod. A lot of different chapters to this edition of the Banjo Bowl. 3 pick sixes in the game. Sam McGuavin, Willie Jefferson for Saskatchewan, and Anthony Gator for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He's beside Sarah Orlesky.
Anthony, as a defense, you were able to contain Zach Collaros in that first half, but you find yourselves down by 3 heading into the second. What was the message at the half?
We just got to focus, we got to keep fighting. You know, we got to pick each other up, and defense got to step up. We got to make some more plays on defense because it's a defensive game, and we got to make some more plays.
It's certainly been a defensive game. Both teams have had pick sixes, and you found your way up the stairs. What was it like being up there?
It was great. It was great being back in front of the crowd and getting back in the end zone. So it felt great, and it's a blessing from God.
Thanks so much.
No problem. Thanks.
And breaking news, we can tell you that Matt Nichols came out of the tunnel, did not throw. Chris Streveler ran out of the tunnel and started throwing right away. You do the math. Chris Streveler is going to start here in the second half. And what is a very interesting decision, considering that Mike O'Shea has not been prone to put Streveler in that position. But right now, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, and I mean, there's an element of, I would almost kind of call mercy from a Winnipeg point of view and from Mike O'Shea's perspective, because you can see that what's impacting Matt Nichols a lot is the pressure. And I don't just mean the pressure coming from the likes of Willie Jefferson, Charleston Hughes, but the pressure to perform. You know, the whole world wanting more out of Matt Nichols, questioning his performance, doubting him, and so on. And for as good as Matt Nichols has been through his time as a Winnipeg Blue Bomber,
and he's been very good.
He has.
More often than not.
And but he's struggling right now.
Yep.
And he's pressing. And I think that was what led to the mistakes in the first half. That sometimes you just need to stand back and take a bit of a breath. And they've got a guy who can play in Streveler, who's had some experience this year, has had some success. So you look at that option.
You heard the panel. It was a long leash for Matt Nichols over the last few weeks. They've tried to let him get through it. And who's to say how long this will be? And who's to say that Chris Streveler is going to have any more success? Well, we'll find out when the Bombers get the ball. But right now, Zach Collaros at work. Bombers load up the box here on 2nd down and 9. 2017, fairly high-scoring game. But the defense has done all the scoring. That kind of game, playoff-type atmosphere in the Banjo Bowl. Collaros whipping it in and caught up near the first down marker. Triple coverage down there. Shaq Evans comes up with the ball.
Yeah, and that's a strong catch from Zach Evans. He's the outside man. He's running that hook. Watch him work back to the ball, keep coming back to the ball. Extend, and even with defender Randall essentially hanging on his arms, Shaq Evans able to secure that football.
First and 10. Play action, wide open, far sideline. And once again, Williams-Lambert, another first down and another silencer here at Investors Group Field.
Williams-Lambert slides out and finds himself wide open along the sidelines. Just a quick flat. But just catching that sideline as he looked to make that last move.
Zach Collaros looking good out of the locker room so far. The second half with a 3-point lead. His team has fought back. Trey Mason. Little stutter step up near the 55-yard line. It's been very hard to bring down. Elusive today has racked up some yards per carry.
Mason's particularly busy early in this football game.
Second down and 2.
Play calling moved away from him a little bit in that second quarter for Saskatchewan. We'll see if they continue to get him involved here in the third.
Get him involved again, and he will battle for another first down into Winnipeg's side of the field. Another first down for Collaros.
Trey Mason doing a nice job sifting his way through traffic there to pick up the first down.
Florida native. Goes by Trey. Name is Trent Mason again. Part of that BCS game run, the SEC championship won by Auburn. Collaros had a dance, and his release valve again is Williams-Lambert, who gets drilled on the far side, but Gator got the worst of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if he got drilled or if he did the drilling.
Anthony Gator took a knee. Zach Collaros went through his reads, and all alone on an island to his right is Williams-Lambert.
Watch Zach stand in there. He took a pretty good hit. Gator coming in to make the tackle. Catches a knee in the side of the head. High velocity with a lot of force. You're talking about a big body. Jordan Williams-Lambert. About 230 pounds.
And a hard-hitting game. Pads have been popping. Players have been going down. First and 10 again. Delayed draw. Near the 30 was Thigpen, setting up another key second down. Bombers bending here, trying not to break and trying to hold the Riders to a field goal attempt as Adam Bighill makes the tackle, the Bombers' leading tackler. What a get just before the season began. He's their anchor. He's their pillar.
Yeah, I think if not for Charleston Hughes and the way he's played so far this season, Adam Bighill might be the guy we'd be talking about as the top defensive player in the league to this point in the season.
Collaros standing back and chucks it, and should have been picked. Taylor Loeffler had that one gift wrapped.
They sure did, and no sooner had we mentioned Adam Bighill than the Bombers' middle linebacker comes free on the blitz. Well executed stunt there. He puts the pressure on Collaros that leads to that errant throw.
Brett Lowther, 38-yarder. This kick is up and it's good again. The Roughriders have a 6-point lead. Day of picks. Well, they said before the game it was a pick-up. Taylor Loeffler should have had one. Bombers offense, and it looks like Chris Strebler when we come back. This was a moment ago. Chris Strebler, who began the season for the Bombers as their starting quarterback, kind of unheralded, unheard from. South Dakota quarterback. Got a win So recorded a pair of losses, and now he is in the thick of it. Matt Nichols on the sideline. Nichols struggled in the first half. Now it's Strebler's turn. See what he can do. He rolls out, moves the pocket, and on the roll. His first pass is complete, and it's down the sideline for Daniel Peterman. Former McMaster Marauder, a third-round pick this year. The rookie with a big play here. First pass from Strebler on the money.
But watch the time that he has to throw the football as he's out of the pocket. And this is, you know, I mean, the play calling becomes a little bit different because of the different skill set of the guy who's now at quarterback.
Willie Jefferson having a monster afternoon. Tackle for a loss on Andrew Harris. Strebler, a young guy, 23-year-old out of Crystal Lake, Illinois.
Began his college career at the University of Minnesota. Didn't get much playing time as a quarterback there. Bounced around as they looked to find a way to get a great athlete on the field. Took reps at tight end, at fullback, and so on. Eventually transferred to South Dakota, where he lit it up as a QB.
Oh, Daniel Peterman just got rocked. Lost the football and almost lost a few body parts there. Whoa, what a shot.
There, bottom left of your screen.
It's a Guavin. What a day he's had too.
Yeah, welcome to the CFL, rookie.
So no chance for a field goal here. The wind is kind of swirling in that end zone. So Medlock looking to pin the Roughriders here. 8 inside the 10-yard line this season. And close to the 10 on that time. A good punt from Justin Medlock. What a game this has been. Had it all. Hard hitting. Big shots. Saskatchewan ball when we come back. Well, back in the early 80s, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were a powerhouse, and they had a power back. Wore number 38 with pride. Name was Willard Reeves, the most outstanding player in the CFL. Led the Bombers to the Grey Cup in 1984 and is still a proud Winnipegger. But I have to ask you, Willard Reeves, I don't think your neighbors here in Winnipeg are liking you very much right now.
No, not now. I guess from the Golden Knights to the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
And that's because he's wearing the uniform of his son Jordan, who happens to play for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
He does. Defensive end. There's my buddy.
Repping Reeves, different color though. Bring that green out here. We out here, baby.
Well, Willard, join us. Come on in. Come on and join us.
There you go. About these bombs out in this field. That camera's gonna be bombs out here.
So Willard, who used to wear the blue and gold with pride here, native Winnipegger, his son Jordan, his other son Ryan, of course, a Vegas Golden Knight. Not too many Winnipeggers can be happy with you.
They are not happy, I guess, because they wouldn't allow them to come on their football team or their hockey team, so we had to go elsewhere.
Zach Collaros throwing it in tight to Naaman Roosevelt. Let's talk football right now.
Let's do it.
Let's talk first of all about Winnipeg. And, you know, you've been around, followed the teams for years. There's been a long drought here for winning a Grey Cup in Winnipeg back to the 90s. Based on what you saw in that first half with the Matt Nichols, and you've been around quarterbacks before.
Matt Nichols is going to have to start trusting his players. He needs the support of his players. He can't take it on his shoulders by himself, so he's going to have to get up there and allow the players to play with him. He can't do it all by himself.
Blocking downfield prior to the pass.
No doubt, I suspect you might like to see the run game a little bit more involved for Winnipeg as they try to get it back on the rails.
I love to see the running game. You know, Winnipeg has a great offensive running game, and they have to start using it. They have to start mixing it up a little bit, balance it out a little bit, and allow those running backs to do their job.
6-point ball game. Collaros back in his end zone to throw, pumps it, and then throws it into traffic. You've been around a lot of football, partner. Have you ever seen a first half like that with 3 pick sixes?
Not like that, and I've never seen it. As a matter of fact, it's something when I was sitting in the stands there, I was saying, I've never seen that happen before. Never.
Does that speak, though, you played in the rivalry. You never played in the Banjo Bowl, but you played in the rivalry. Does that speak to the intensity between these two teams?
The intensity itself, you know, this is like these teams can be 0-8. And this intensity out here is something that you have to be there. You have to be on that football field to feel it. It is something else.
Well, you can hear it right now in the crowd. Collaros with time, might take off. He does, and he's going down.
There you go.
Brandon Bryant. Let's talk about Jordan now and his path to the Canadian Football League. A lot of people might not know that Jordan played university ball in Brandon, but it was basketball.
It was basketball. Jordan played for the Brandon Bobcats, and he just, you know, decided to play basketball. Went to European professional basketball for a little while, came back home and decided, you know, I'm going to play some football. So signed with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and next thing you know, he's playing, you know, a running back, I mean, not a running back, you know, a wide receiver, and all of a sudden, you know, he's playing here for Saskatchewan, playing on the defensive end side, and doing very well on the special teams.
What's the biggest piece of advice you gave to Jordan as he embarked on his professional football career?
Learn the game. You have to learn the game. You just can't show up, you know, because you can bench press about 500 pounds. Just learn the game, you know, listen to your coaches, and go out there and do the best you possibly can do. And that's what he's doing right now. He's still learning the game, but he's doing really well.
There's Willard's son on the sideline. Must be a special one to be playing here in Winnipeg, a city where his dad lit it up. And your other son lit it up in the spring and actually scored a goal against the Winnipeg Jets, as a matter of fact. There's Ryan.
Boy, I'm telling you, I'm so proud of my boys. They, you know, when they want to do something, they go out there and they do it 100%. And Ryan has been playing really well for himself. He's been doing extraordinary good wherever he goes. You know, in St. Louis, Pittsburgh, you know, now with the Golden Knights, you know, just proud of my boys.
There's Strebler, 2nd and 11, tossing it over the top, and this one is picked. Guess what?
Oh, man.
The Banjo Bowl is soon going to be renamed the Pick'em Bowl. Luches Purifoy has another. Willard, great seeing you.
Nice
great seeing your
too,
boys doing so well. I don't know what you're going to do tonight when you go back to your neighborhood.
I think I'm going to go and have dinner with Rod Black.
Great to see you. Well, change the quarterback, but the interceptions continue.
What are they going to ask for now?
Again, this one thrown into traffic. Tip ball, Luches Purifoy comes up with the latest Saskatchewan Roughrider interception.
Not only have there been a lot of picks, 40, but they've been like batted picks.
Yeah, I mean, some unique plays for sure, obviously, when you look at the Jefferson and Guaman pick sixes.
There goes Mason once more. What a shake this guy has.
Yeah, Trey Mason looks like he's really starting to find his groove.
6 minutes to go in the third. Mason piles up another first down.
When Mason first joined this team, start of the season, you had a very crowded Saskatchewan Roughrider backfield. Now he's starting to get some more touches.
9 carries, 62 yards. Play action, and Shaq Evans has running room. And the Bombers running out of steam as Evans runs through and gets pushed through the kicking net by Taylor Loeffler, and they're going to add 15 onto this.
Well, we'll take another look. Loeffler's trying to argue that he initiated the hit.
No.
You know what? When you look at this, when I think he's coming in full speed, and I think he actually tried to hold up. I honestly do. Yeah. When you look at the way he extended his arms.
Unnecessary roughness.
He tried to grab him.
Yeah, he didn't extend them on contact.
Automatic first down.
It's still roughing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a call that they have to make, and I'm not disputing that. But in terms of the way Taylor Loeffler plays the game, I don't think that he went to drill him into the net. I honestly think that he tried to grab him.
200 yards of penalties almost in this game. Bombers climbing up into Saskatchewan territory. First and 10, Riders. Little screen pass to Mason. Draws a crowd. Now he goes the other way, and Trey Mason makes something out of nothing. First down, and Trey Mason is finding a home in the backfield of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. This guy can move.
Yeah, terrific patience on this play to let that cutback develop. You know, he's got the blockers out in front of him, but the Bombers do a good job getting leverage, getting contained, forcing him to bounce it back. But Mason has the patience not to try and ram it up in there, to get his head on a swivel and find the lane.
Polaris dumps it off once more, picked off. That was a fumble, and now there's a whistle. They're saying an incomplete pass as Kyron Moore wasn't able to hang on. Otherwise, that might have been a fumble return for a touchdown. It's been hard to hang on to the pigskin today.
Bombers on that one quickly. Gerald Rivers, newcomer in former Edmonton Eskimo, to break that one up.
Red zone play here. The blitz. Collaros now moves the pocket. Signals, and now jumps ahead, looking for that first down marker, not even close. And so, after all of that, the best the Riders are going to do is another field goal attempt. That would make it a two-possession ball game. Others had a great day. Another shorty here. Martell with the hold. This will be from about the 23-yard line. Close to 3.5 left in the third. The Banjo Bowl, which right now is owned by the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who now lead 26-17 in Winnipeg. Great news here for the Bombers. Look who's come back. Kenbrell Tompkins, who went out of the game in the first half. Let's go to Sarah.
Well, Rod, I think a number of us did a double take on the sidelines when Kenbrell Tompkins walked by us in full uniform still. So he returned. We saw him obviously get stretchered out in that first half. Very scary moment. We knew that he was going to be evaluated at a local hospital. Well, one of our TSN crew members saw him getting out of a cab, returning to Investors Group Field, still in his full gear, and that is what he remains in on the sidelines right now. Obviously, the organization says that he is done for the day.
And he will now forever have a new nickname. Dwayne Ford, go ahead.
Yeah, Kenbrell Taxi Tompkins.
That is a classic story.
Now I can just picture him getting out and having to tell the taxi driver, I'm sorry, I left my wallet in my other pants.
Exactly. I was going to say, how did he even have a wallet? But coming back, so that's great news. And now Corey Washington is out and hurt on that far sideline, far side of the field. Let's take a look at Washington, and already a depleted receiving core. No Weston Dressler before the game. Washington filling in for him the last couple of weeks. Already without Tompkins, done for the day, and you wonder about this. We talked about it.
Tried to reach for his lower back right away when he went down, but it didn't look like he got hit there.
He might be okay to go, but I'll tell you what, there'll be a lot of ice bags in this locker room, both locker rooms at the end of this one. Banged up teams today. Next week, Winnipeg has the bye. Saskatchewan will be home to Ottawa. 6-4 Riders leading 26-17 against the 5-6 Bombers. Backup Chris Streveler here in the second half after an ineffective Matt Nichols. A nightmare in the first half. Streveler stands in, delivers, and once again it's to Peterman, and credit this guy who earlier got knocked into tomorrow. He's back in the ball game, and he moves the sticks again.
Yeah, Peterman takes a tough shot. He's the guy motioning down towards the line, just underneath crossing route here.
You might think Peterman might have some familiarity as well with Strevler early in the season.
Yeah, guys, a couple rookies typically working together on that second unit.
Strevler, look out. Has to run, his scrambles outside. There's that mobility, uses his left hand. And his old roommate, Drew Wolotarski, from his college days in Minnesota, couldn't bring that in. That would have been highlight reel stuff. Watch the left-handed toss here. I remember watching Tom Wilkinson do that growing up. Not a first down, another second down. 2.5 to go. Winner of this game gets the much coveted Banjo Bowl trophy. Bombers have owned it last 3 years. Well, Strevler wants to call his number. Chased down again, drawing a crowd, and he's going down. And the same stuff that Matt Nichols was going through, not being able to find receivers, struggling in the pocket, Chris Strevler is going through right now too.
Yeah, and Saskatchewan's doing a good job of containing him when he does run. I mean, this one looks like a cold run to me. A quarterback draw. Saskatchewan clogged up the middle well and then did a terrific job flowing to the football, forcing him.
Toby Antigua, Strevler having some words. Saskatchewan D has come to play today. Another punt by Medlock. Moore. Downfield quickly was Chris Randall. That time of year, 40. NFL Sunday season began Thursday. Super Bowl champions won. Tomorrow it's the 49ers and Vikings, Bills and Ravens, Texans and Patriots, Jaguars and Giants. So much intrigue going into the new season. All the young quarterbacks. 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. A big day of football tomorrow. CTV and TSN. Big day today. 9 hours of coverage. Second game of a triple header. Polaris pulls it back and throws a strike. One of his favorite targets, Roosevelt. Roughrider offense has had a lot of momentum here in this second half.
They be able to gain some more if they can get Roosevelt going a little bit. It's his second catch of the ball game. On 7 targets.
Saskatchewan's going to have to hurry. I was going to say the play clock's coming down and they'll take a timeout. They're going to burn one here. Some confusion. And Trey Mason and Marcus Thigpen both on the field. One of them should not have been there. Thigpen goes out. Mason comes back. Final minute, third quarter. About all the football, NFL, U Sports underway. Bisons last night played against Saskatchewan.
Shootout.
Huskies won 48-46. Mitchell rivals at it in the CFL today. And look at another great cut. Trey Mason, another first down. He has been lights out.
Well, he just shows terrific vision and acceleration on this play. Starts off going to his right, doesn't like what he sees. Quick pause and watch the acceleration. As soon as he sees that opening, that cutback lane off the left edge, he just goes like he's been shot from a cannon.
10 carries, 73 yards, approaching 100. He's been a force. They swing it out now. Thigpen back in the game. Marcus Thigpen high steps for another first down near the 52-yard line. So they're using a little thunder and lightning in that backfield. Thigpen at times Mason at times. Mason comes back in. Thigpen goes out.
I'll watch the work here by Naaman Roosevelt. Gets not one but two Bomber defenders out of the way to help out his running back. Now, I don't know about thunder and lightning here, partner. I think these two guys might be lightning and lightning.
Yeah, maybe. And there's Mason again. Guy's averaging almost 7 yards a carry. His biggest day as a Saskatchewan Roughrider. That's 3 quarters down. Bombers have not won this season, trailing after 3, and they trail right now in the 2018 Banjo Bowl. In this game of numbers, the key ones are the turnovers and the interceptions and the points off turnovers. There's the difference in the ball game for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Not put up a lot of passing numbers, but they have put up some good rushing numbers in this game, and it's all been predominantly tiny Trey Mason.
Yeah, Trey Mason has done a terrific job. And as you said, you look at Zach Collaros' passing numbers, and there's not a real wow factor to that. I think the Bombers or Roughriders have just over 170 passing yards so far in this football game. But what they have is a balanced offense, and Trey Mason has been a key to that. I think he's doing a good job helping to take some of the pressure off of Zach Collaros and that passing game. 11 carries for 80 yards for Mason, averaging just over 7 yards a pop.
They've been quality 7 yards. Highlight reel stuff from this guy today. Mason's in that backfield again. Collaros operates out of the shotgun. Gives it back to Mason. Just seems that Mason has such good acceleration even when he gets the football. He's got to step on players already. He moves the sticks once more. Down to the 45-yard line.
And give some love to the boys up front. Doing the blocking. Dan Clark working the double team up to second level. Creating a seam, and as you said, Trey Mason doesn't need much of a seam to turn it into a positive play.
Riders split out. Rob Bagg, Kyron Moore, Roosevelt in motion. Back to Mason. They just can't stop this guy. Had him handcuffed, it seemed. The backfield, Drake Nevis had him for just a moment. He still had positive yardage. Sets up what's likely a throwing down now. And the Riders not only eating up real estate here, eating up the clock, trying to make it back-to-back weeks with victories. Here comes that noise. Bombers showing blitz. Here it comes. Off the edge. Look out. Fumble football. Adam Bighill scoops it up. Bighill still on his feet. Spins down near the 45. Blindsided was Zach Collaros. Fumbled the football. And a turnover-filled game turns around again. Bang off the edge. Up with the football is Biggie. Bomber ball when we come back. Zach Collaros a little rattled, and he got rattled by Jeff Hecht off the edge. Lowers the boom.
Yeah, Hecht here coming from the right side of your screen. You could tell Collaros didn't have a feel that he was coming from that backside. Jeff Hecht.
He's a shoulder in.
I mean, a guy who has carved out a career as a banger. There was a big one there.
Bombers have not had the football very much in the second half, and you'd have to think that they're going to have to ignite something with 33 as well. Andrew Harris has not done much here this afternoon. Zach looks like he's okay.
Jeff Hecht. He's a guy came into this league.
Actually, he's going to the locker room. So Zach Collaros going to the locker room. That means go to Brandon Bridge or David Watford. Bridge is Strebler goes the other way and cutting back. Big play here. Wolotarski is good buddy. Bombers needed that on second down, so both starting quarterbacks now out of the ball game. Now Ed Gainey. That's his name to the walking wounded.
Meanwhile, Drew Wolotarski's fourth catch of the ball game supplies the Bombers with another first down.
Brandon Bridge, Air Canada. Laris going to the locker room, and like he had hit his helmet, his head to that turf. Caney on the turf right now. We welcome the viewers who are watching the U.S. Open from Flushing Meadows, where Naomi Osaka knocked off Serena Williams, who was penalized a game for calling the chair umpire down in that one. Welcome to this game. It has been bizarre to say the least. A lot of turnovers, a lot of injuries. Both starting quarterbacks now out of the game. One who was given the hook, Matt Nichols. The other who is in the locker room right now, Zach Collaros. And anybody's ball game still. 12 minutes to go. Saskatchewan trailed early. Down 10 to the Bombers, but fighting back. 3 pick sixes in this game, virtually unheard of. As a game, Hamilton had 3 pick sixes back in 09 in a game as Nick Dembski moves the sticks once more.
This is just a lightning quick handoff. See how quickly that ball is gone. The timing of that play has to be pretty much perfect. Dembski being right there. Strebler takes the snap.
Dembski, 32 yards in this game, rushing. Harris only 21. Strebler, his back foot, not a good toss. Dangerous one for Washington, but he does have another chance here on second down. South Dakota quarterback.
Lots of time left in this ball game, Rod, as you mentioned. Just over 11 minutes, but you do get the feeling this is a somewhat critical possession for Winnipeg. I mean, they've struggled to gain any kind of momentum since the first quarter of this football game, particularly here in the second half.
Deep drop for Strebler. Finds Wolotarski once more. Inside the 10, they'll go first and goal. Well, they have obvious chemistry. They're roommates. Days in college, go back to Minnesota. Wolotarski was also a receiver. They have a connection. It's obvious.
And definitely feeling some of that here this afternoon. Wolotarski, a busy day now with 5 catches.
67 yards. Strebler hangs in and has his man. And a first CFL touchdown for Daniel Peterman. Flag down against Saskatchewan. Winnipeg touchdown. The rookie has his first and a souvenir. And Chris Strebler throws a strike.
Yeah, rookie to rookie. This is a beautiful ball. Just past the outstretched arm of the defender to find Peterman near the back of the end zone.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Saskatchewan, number 15. The result of the play was a touchdown. 15 yards were applied on the kickoff.
Marcus Hardrick really up in that front row. Hardrick hop. Pearson there. Strebler has ignited this team. Daniel Peterman has made some great catches here in this second half for first downs. A big drive for the Blue Bombers. has driven this team back into the ballgame. 2-point game.
Yeah, 6 plays, 65-yard drive. Capped by the touchdown pass from Strevler to Peterman for his first in the CFL. We've got a 2-point ballgame.
Pride of Stony Creek, Ontario, just outside of Hamilton. Pride of Mac, Marauder, Daniel Peterman. Big touchdown. You're going to secure your first. Why not make it one that reeks of importance right now?
Yeah, middle receiver right down the hash. Little change of pace. Caught the defender. I believe Nick Marshall was the closest Rider defender there. Peterman kind of throttled down around the goal line and then turned it up. This is a guy who's sneaky good athlete. Daniel Peterman.
Right at the goal line. Marcus Thigpen is brought down. Mike Miller, the special teams demon, adds to his active tally. Zach Collaros looks like he's undergone some concussion protocol. Not sure if he's coming back in this ball game. He did come back out of the tunnel, was in the locker room, and obviously right now it's Brandon Bridges' turn. So it's a game of backups right now.
So Brandon Bridge, a guy who's gained a lot of experience over the last couple of seasons in Saskatchewan. A guy who kind of likes the big stage, so we'll see how he makes out here. Banjo Bowl action.
Bridge rolling and tossing long, and very much like Chris Strevler, a guy who will move the pocket. Use those feet. Remember what he did in the Eastern Final? He almost propelled his team to the Grey Cup game.
Yeah, absolutely. Capable of the big play combination. That mobility to which you alluded, and a very strong arm.
A lot of banjos. A lot of costumes. A lot of blue and gold. A lot of green. It's the rematch, round 2. 2-point ball game. 2nd and 10. Bridge gives it off to Mason. This time he's going nowhere. Marcus Sales, big play, and a short field it looks like now for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Terrific support here by Sales. He beats the block of Darius Bladek. Taking advantage of his quickness against a bigger blocker in space to get there and make a play.
Riders elected to kick from the end zone before, did not give up the deuce. The safety, they'll kick again. That end-over-end backspin kick by Bartel. Immediate field position. Battle of field position. The battle of the Banjo Bowl continues from the peg.
Well, the receiver injury woes continue for the Bombers. Nick Dembski takes a big hit on the punt return. He got up and tried to go to the huddle, but the officials called for the trainers to come out and get him. He's now on his way to the dressing room. Here's Sarah Orleski with more.
Dwayne, thank you so much. When it comes time for the Banjo Bowl, you know that means that another sport is just around the corner, and that means time for hockey. I'm joined by the Winnipeg Jets' Nikolai Ehlers, who just arrived in Winnipeg last night. Nikolai, we've seen you at Bombers games before. What have you thought of this Banjo Bowl?
It's exciting. You know, all these fans coming out here. Great atmosphere. It's a lot of fun.
For you, I know that soccer is the other sport that you really love. Big play right there. We'll send it back up right now so that Rod and Dwight.
All right, we'll get back to you. Nikolai Ehlers here. Good luck charm for the Winnipeg faithful as Darvin Adams was wide open in stride and might have been able to even take this to the house. It just had to slow up a bit.
Yeah, going to the post, he had the open hole down the middle of the field. Strevler spotted him early. Big gain right there for the Bombers.
Inside the 20, the red zone. Give it off to Timothy Flanders. All right, let's get back to Sarah.
We'll see if we can get this in before another eventful flight. Nikolai, for you, I know that soccer is one of the sports that you love, but since becoming a Jet and spending time in Winnipeg, have you developed an appreciation for three-down football?
I have. Like I said before, coming out here and being able to watch these guys and what they do. Coming out to watch my good friend Andrew. It's exciting, I was here last year and now again, so it's good.
Well, we often see Andrew Harris at Winnipeg Jets games as well, supporting you. Thank you so much. Hard to believe that preseason starts a week on Monday. Thanks for the time, Nikolai.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, hockey season is here. Andrew Harris, huge hockey fan. Played a lot of hockey growing up in Winnipeg and then obviously became a star high school recruit, junior football player. Peterman almost had that one. He's big catches, needed that one. So Medlock comes out to put the Bombers back out on top. And he does. Back and forth, punch, counter punch. The Banjo Bowl slugfest continues. Winnipeg goes ahead by 1. So many Saskatchewan fans here today, and reminder on Wednesday, TSN in partnership with the Humboldt Broncos brings you Humboldt Strong. The Humboldt Broncos season opener was lost and affected by the April 6th tragedy. Prior to coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, across the TSN network and on Saskatchewan. The Roughriders, Brandon Bridge sidearm and juggling act. Unsuccessful near the 40-yard line. Kyron Moore.
Too much heat on that one. Coming in at a tough angle for Kyron Moore. Sidearm whip.
He has a lot of different arm slots, doesn't he?
Yeah, that time basically trying to throw it around the defender.
Submarine toss. One of those tosses cost Matt Nichols in the first half. 6 minutes to go. 1-point game. Bridge. Sling it. And again, it's Williams-Lambert. Ball's close to the 50-yard line. It's a first down. Roughriders.
Yet another big play for the rookie Williams-Lambert. Important first down. I suspect even just confidence-wise for Brandon Bridge as he tries to settle in here.
Bridge hasn't seen action since Colaros came back. Trey Mason tried to push the pile to no avail. Likely throwing down now. Picked up about 4 yards. Field position's going to mean everything down the stretch here. Using the clock management. Converting first downs. New Bombers mascot hard at work. Getting a workout. Right. I think Jamarcus is ready to get back in the lineup.
Keeping his cardio up while he's out of the lineup.
Full tilt here. Sends out 5. Whips it in again. Catch made down near the 40. It's Moore.
Well, if it hadn't been completed, this would have been a first down on the basis of roughing the passer. Watch the late shot that Brandon Bridge takes here.
Major foul.
So another 15.
Winnipeg, number 58. 15 yards. Automatic first down. Saskatchewan.
Costly. For the Blue Bombers. Saskatchewan now trying to take advantage.
Well, Winnipeg has had some very good bend but don't break drives defensively. They've given up some yardage. They've allowed Saskatchewan into that offensive green zone. They've escaped with just field goals against.
Mason sliding and slipping again. Down for a first down to the 15-yard line. Might be a little bit shy. Trey Mason approaches 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, terrific run there from Trey Mason. Some good open field moves. cuts on a dime. You just wonder kind of a factor this guy could become in this West Division playoff race down the stretch, as he seems to be establishing himself as an important part of this Rider offense.
It's a first down. Let's go down to the sideline once more. And here's Sarah, an update on Zach Collaros.
Yeah, Rod, more injury news for you. Zach Collaros has entered concussion protocol, and he has been ruled out by the Riders for the remainder of this game.
And that's too bad for Zach. Missed 4 games. The concussion at the beginning of the season. In a injury-filled, penalty-filled game. Over 100 yards in penalties for both teams. And they've been costly penalties on both sides.
Yeah, they sure have, whether it's been taking turnovers off the board or just giving up chunks of yardage.
First and 10, Mason swallowed up. 3:07 down. The clock comes to the 3-minute warning.
Timeout. Timeout. Winnipeg.
Winnipeg taking the timeout before the warning.
Use it or lose it.
Timer. Reset the clock to reach 3:09. 3:09 on the clock.
So can the Roughriders find the end zone? Can they get a first down? And the Blue Bombers hold here and limit them to a field goal. Critical second down. Mason again, down near the 5, will be short of a first down. Had to get to about the 4.5, almost the 4-yard line. See where they spot this. They might spot this, looks like near the 6-yard line. Spot is everything here.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a true yard.
It's 2 yards, 40. It's almost 2 yards, and decision time for Chris Jones. Will he kick? Will he go? We'll go to break. It's the 3-minute warning at the Banjo Bowl. Didn't take long for CJ. Chris Jones, he brought out his field goal unit because of this. A little closer, I think he goes for it.
Yeah, I think if it's a legit 1 yard, I do think you go for it, play for the touchdown. But I mean, this is 2+ yards. Too much of a gamble.
Another lead change. Potentially here. Chip shot, Lowther. Perfect today. Remains perfect. Back and forth they jockey. 2-point lead, Saskatchewan inside 2:48. Winnipeg will get the ball. The 2.5-minute offense for Chris Streveler.
Knew he was getting thrown into the fire. It was Chris Streveler when he was inserted into this game to start the second half, playing against a tough Saskatchewan defense, and now amped up a notch, having to bring his team back. A 2-point deficit with under 3 minutes to go in this ball game.
It's a funny game, this one, obviously. It's an interesting clock right now for the Blue Bombers. You know, trying to move it in, you want to get it into field goal position. Ultimately, you like to move it into field goal position and give Saskatchewan no time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That unique brand of clock management. We got to hurry, but not too much.
You don't want to get to 3-down play. And now we've got an interloper on the field. And he's going to be chased down. Fortunately, he has his clothes on. He's pretty quick. He's going down at the 50. No sense showing this guy. Somebody will be getting a phone call tonight.
All right.
Off you go. So now 2:48 to go. Keenan LaFrance is back. Nick Dembski is back. Two former Winnipeg high school stars. It's not Dembski back there now. And it is Flanders. Flanders trying to find an opening. So again, Bombers want to use the clock wisely, want to get it into, well, they'd like to take it to the house.
I mean, job one is to get it within the range of Justin Medlock, regardless of how you do it or the time, and then you start worrying about the time.
But the thing is, too, if you can't move the ball, if you cannot move the ball, do you give it back to Saskatchewan again? Bombers need a first downs. Strebler tucking it and trying to deliver it. Not sure if he wasn't past the line of scrimmage. So now second down. Again, 2:34 to go. If they don't get the first down here, do you boot it back to Saskatchewan with that amount of time on the clock?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how much time is left if they come to that.
Key is to get the second down. Big play call here for Paul Appolise and the Bombers. Strebler in the gun. Wolotarski and Corey Washington wide out. Looks like he's going to send out 5. Stays in over the top in traffic. Might have to kick this away.
Yeah, I think with 2.5 and in on their own side of center, I think this is their best decision, best option to kick it away.
Yeah, it's up to the defense 40. Not a good pass that time.
Now beware, one of the guys we've talked about a lot, Trey Mason.
There's Evans. So now it's up to the Bomber defense. A couple of first downs for Saskatchewan, and they could put the lights out.
Yeah, I mean, this is where I'm going for most of this football game. Saskatchewan's had success running the football with Trey Mason. Now it's crunch time, and the Bombers are going to need to get some stops of Mason in the ground game.
It has been a game full of turnover and drama and intensity. Prairie Dogs going at it. Get back to Mason. Trying to get him outside for a loss is Marcus Sayles. He got to the initial line of scrimmage and out of bounds, stops the clock at 2:14. Now a key second down here.
Success on both counts there.
They'll give him 2 yards
for the Bombers. Very aggressively playing the run. Adam Bighill, middle linebacker, shot a gap. Get in that backfield and try and make a quick play on Mason. That's what forced him wide.
This is one of the biggest plays of this game, which has had a lot of big plays. Bridge. And incomplete.
Well, again, clock stops.
Fly pattern. Probably didn't need that right there. Needed the 10 yards. And so now Winnipeg will get it back, and it will be the 2-minute offense.
Yeah, not ideal execution on either play from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Mason allowing himself to be taken out of bounds, and then obviously the incomplete pass. So only 15 seconds off the clock from when the ball was kicked.
Josh Bartel, this one is a floater. Dembski is back into return, but going nowhere. Down at the 36. Kevin Francis downfield. So now it's up to the rookie. Came in the second half, has already scored a touchdown with a pass to Daniel Peterman. Needs to get this, maybe a better clock to manage, but has to get first downs, get it in field goal range, and try to get the W.
Medlock's long on the season is 50. Looks like he'll have a little bit of a wind at his back should they get that opportunity.
Far side, Dembski.
And he's going to be stopped for a loss.
One guy who has not seen the football hardly at all in the second half is Andrew Harris, their best player. Just 10 carries, 21 yards. Bombers need this, so it's third down. And again, it's Dembski, and he's going to be short with 1:35. And now you've got to go. Can't boot this back. Medlock was coming out, but there wouldn't be much time left, and one more first down and it would be game over. Saskatchewan got the ball back.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, you had the perfect storm on the last series. You're unlikely to get that
now
again defensively if you're the Bombers. So you're now down to this. Play of the game right here.
Third down could be over for the Bombers. Need a first down. Strebler's in trouble. Strebler's going down. He tosses it up. It is picked off. Just like last week, the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Mike Edom with the interception. And that could seal this Banjo Bowl deal. Ed Gainey last week. The ball forced up by Strebler.
Yeah, I mean, this is one. He's on his way down to the turf. Third down. He's either going down with a sack or he throws it and hopes that something happens. He's got Hughes on one side of him, Jefferson on the other side. There you see Charleston Hughes on his legs. He's just trying to get rid of the football and hope for the best. Otherwise, it's a sack and it ends that way.
Still not over in some respects because Trey Mason could make it moot if he gets a first down. But Saskatchewan, if they get stopped, could kick a field goal.
Timeout. Winnipeg. Timeout.
And they would make Winnipeg have to drive the field and get a touchdown to win. Blue Bombers have thrown 7 balls that ended up in Saskatchewan arms, 5 interceptions, 2 negated by penalties. Game's still not over here.
I'll point out, we talked about Charleston Hughes with that 8-game sack streak. He has no sacks today, but for all intents and purposes, essentially had one that just ended that Bombers drive.
One tackle for Charleston. They'll keep it to Mason once more, and he's pushed back. So it's going to be another third down. And they are in field goal range for Lowther, who's been perfect today. Still time, 1:03. It's third and about 1.5 yards. Kick the field goal. And you make it. You make the Bombers have to score a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's close to 2 yards that they need.
He's bringing out Lowther. This guy's been so good. Money this season. Former 7th round pick of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Didn't play much through the years. He's had a terrific day. But it is clutch time. A miss. The Bombers can still get the ball back and get into field goal position. Lowther's 5 for 5. This would come from 47 at the 43-yard line. Putting some more time on the clock, apparently. So if you're the Bombers and Lowther does miss, no sense really bringing this out of the end zone unless you had complete daylight. You still need the field goal and you would still win and you still get better field position.
Yeah, don't take the time. Don't take the time off your own clock.
5 for 5. Make it 6 for 6. for Brett Lowther. And may have just made it back-to-back weeks for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Still 46 to go. The Blue Bombers now have to drive the field and score a touchdown to win. And Brett Lowther strumming the banjo. Kicking and kicking. So here we go. We've had it all here today, 40. A slew of injuries, a lot of penalties, and turnovers galore.
9 interceptions, which feels weird to even say. 3 of them were pick sixes. 3 of them negated by penalties. And a fumble recovery in there as well. Not a pretty game.
No, but memorable.
Yes, sir.
They always are between these two. Don't forget the Battle of Alberta coming up after this. Timothy Flanders. And he is gobbled up at the 30. 80 yards to go for the Blue Bombers. 42 seconds to go. Do they have some magic?
Guys, inside the 40, please.
Can the rookie lead them to victory? Saskatchewan's defense has been outstanding for the most part today. Going to drop 9.
Yeah, exactly. Anticipate just that 3-man rush.
Strebler over the top. Corey Washington into Saskatchewan territory. Only ate up a few seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that's the play they needed on the last series.
Now we've got a finish here. 1st and 10 from the 53. Strebler, 3-man rush again. Here comes Jefferson, and down goes Strebler.
5-man protection, only 3 guys rushing, can't happen.
Bombers got to get on the ball again here. Jefferson has been a green giant today.
You know, this is a situation where I'd adjust my protection.
Strebler again. It's going to be another 3rd down play, but the clock ticking down to 12. They got to take a shot at the end zone here. Do some hook and ladder stuff with 11 to go. This is likely the final play, and it's 3rd down. Now you can go for an out pattern, or do you just send up a hail bomber? That's what they're doing. This is game over right here. 2 seconds to go. 3rd down play. Strebler chucks it out of bounds. No flags and no chance left for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It is game over. The Bombers have now lost 4 in a row, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders are riding high. The lucky green shirt still has some magic for Chris Jones. Game full of turnovers, pick sixes. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders hang on for a hard-fought 32-27 win. And Zach Collaros didn't go the distance. And that guy right there in the spotlight for our Nissan Titan player of the game.
Yeah, we talked about the turnovers and how defense was much of the story. They've been key for the Saskatchewan Roughriders on this 4-game winning streak. And the guy who led the charge today, for sure, number 7, Willie Jefferson, 97-yard interception return for a touchdown. Huge sack at the end of this ball game to shut it down. He was an absolute monster. Willie Jefferson is your Nissan Titan player of the game.
The Banjo Bowl trophy will be heading to Regina. Riders heading home. Have Ottawa next week. Bombers have a bye. Need to regroup in a hurry. Saskatchewan making some huge steps in the West. Green and white day today here in Winnipeg. Triple header continues. Goodbye, everybody, from Investors Group Field. Let's send it back to Rod Smith, where the Riders ride over the Bombers.
All right, thank you, Rod. We're going to send you out to Edmonton now for part 3 of our triple header. The rematch, Battle of Alberta, in progress. 7-7 the score to Chris Cuthbert and Glenn Soon.